Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another video. Myself, Keith Symes, Cian Menton are here to discuss the appointment of Tim Clancy as manager of St. Patrick's Athletic. Now, obviously, it's been a whirlwind weekend. We won't get too much into that, but I want to talk about Tim Clancy, obviously, and obviously his appointment. But we look back in his legacy a bit at Drogheda United and what he's done there. I mean, he was 4 seasons at the club. He took over in 2017 from Pete Mahon. He was unlucky in a couple of playoffs with Drogheda. He got promotion, obviously, last season into the Premier Division, and they finished 7th, obviously, this year in the Premier Division. He really built up that club. They were in a difficult situation, Drogheda. You know, obviously, Pete Mann was there for a few years, but before that, did a couple of managers, you know, in quick succession, let's say. You know, Clancy came in, helped stabilise the club, which is the main thing, build a bit of a foundation, build a rapport and a bond, I think, with the fans and at the club. As I said to you off air, I've seen him quite a bit in the last couple of years as well. So I'm in a good position to maybe comment on his style of play in general and that kind of thing. But we'll get on to that a bit later. Overall, what do you take of the appointment from a Pat's point of view? And as I said, his legacy at Drogheda United?
Yeah, look, I said it's not ideal. You know, we won a cup on Sunday, and now all of a sudden our manager's leaving, and you know, there's a bit of change around the club, which is not ideal. But you know, I think Tim Clancy's probably, if someone asked me to handpick a manager out of anyone in the league, it probably would have been Tim Clancy.
I think, Ian, just for the laugh, just so people know, I think we had this discussion before, the two of us, didn't we? And we kind of said if Donald, for some reasons, to leave, we'd probably choose Clancy, which is interesting as well.
Yeah, I really admire the man. I think he's fantastic. It was his first job, and no better club to learn from. Drogheda is an amazing club. You know, they were a laughing stock for a while. I thought that people thought them as an easy target. Tim came in and changed that completely. In terms of, you know, Tim obviously finished his career at Bray, probably rather abruptly. He kind of basically left the pitch halfway through. But you know, I didn't expect them to. I didn't expect them to get the Drogheda job, and I remember thinking back, that's a very strange appointment. That's an appointment that doesn't make any sense, type of thing.
Risky at the time, I would say. Risky at the time.
They've just been relegated from the from the First Division. They've just been relegated from the Premier Division, I think. Yeah. You know, so they're coming in. I know it's probably, for Tim, it was probably the best time to come in. But, you know, in terms of the club, it's massive, because if you don't get that appointment right, you know, and at the time, the First Division is, like it is all the time, it's tough. And, you know, the likes of Shells would have been down there, you know, in and around mid-table. And, you know, you wouldn't have having a lot of teams down there with a lot of money. So it would have been a level playing field, not like recent years where we've seen Shelbourne coming in with a few bob and getting themselves in and out of the in and out of the First Division. So it was a tough division, not a lot of money going around at all. It was all through the time when Dundalk were having all the success with Cork, you know, all that
Cork, yeah.
So, you know, it was the Dundalk and Cork era, really. So, you know, Drogheda really fell behind in terms of Louth. And, you know, all the success was happening in Oriel at that time. So it was an awfully difficult time. But, you know, like I said, I was shocked to see Tim getting the job in terms of, at that time, a couple of years ago. It's obviously changed now, but a couple of years ago, we had the same cycle of managers just going around the league. So the introduction to Tim and stuff was something new and something exciting. I know I'm a young manager myself, a young coach myself, and I love seeing that. And I think Tim was probably one of the very first. I think Drogheda United deserve a lot of credit for that, because they gave Tim a chance, and look, he's after. I
think he's 37 right now, so he was about 33 when he took over. Then I think
after giving them absolutely everything, and you know, you got to give them everything more. I don't think Drogheda could actually ask for more from Tim. I thought, like, even in the early years, now they get, like I says, they obviously have. I'm not going to say they have a lot of money now, which there's no hiding and no secrets. Of course they don't, like. But, you know, I think he stabilised the club. I think the club is in an amazing state. And I do want to add as well, I do think Stevie O'Donnell has done the same with Pats. I think, you know, I personally, like, this is an unbelievable job. Usually when managers come into a club let's talk about Dundalk for a second at this minute in time. Stevie has gone up to Dundalk and he has an unbelievable job to do. He has obviously Tim is going to come into Pats, but Pats are in a fantastic an opportunity. Pats are in a great place at this minute in time. But just after winning the cup, yeah, I know Tim is going to have his hands full in terms of trying to get contracts and trying to get stuff like that done for players. But he's coming into a club that's really, really thriving off the field as well, in terms of the community and everything. Everything's pulling together. Stevie has to go up to Dundalk and basically do all that again and, start it all again and start a new culture. So I think Tim, I'm not going to say he has an easy job. Jesus, there's no easy jobs in this league. But
say if he took this job, I'll just throw it out there. At the time O'Donnell took it, it was a harder job then, you would think.
Exactly. And, I think the egos are gone type of thing in the club now as well. I think, the dressing room culture, I can't see that changing. I think O'Donnell done an amazing job for Pats. I do think he deserves an awful lot of credit for it. I didn't think he jumped ship as quick. Now, I'm not going to lie. I didn't think he'd go this early. I did always have in the back of my head, we're getting them ready for Dundalk. I knew that. But I didn't think he'd go this early. But he's after leaving the club in a fantastic state. Like I said, the club isn't in disarray. And in fairness to Tim, he took over Drogheda when they probably were. They wouldn't like to admit they were in disarray, but they were.
And I think they would now. I think they would, to be fair, honest enough to admit that, yeah.
Yeah, he stabilised everything. He got a hard working team. And like I said the other day, I don't know whether I said it or not. To be honest, I can't remember the other day. But, when we were doing the cup thing, and I says, look, I don't care if Pats don't win a league or a cup for as long as I live. If we have 11 players or 15, whatever the squad is, giving everything for the club, week in, week out, for Pats, after that is a bonus. We obviously love to be successful and we love to win things. But, I think what Tim brings is that hard work, the endeavour, the hours on the training pitch. And I'm certain that every single person that's going to be in a Patch jersey next year is going to give it all for the club.
I'll tell you what else he brings, Keano, as well. I'll just get out of the way that Kevin Doherty will be taking over at Drogheda and Dara Doyle will be with him as well. Just quickly, just to mention the fact that obviously Clancy is a huge loss to Drogheda. There's no doubt about it. If you're a Drogheda fan, you're going to be disappointed and upset. However, I don't think it's the worst decision in the world to have Doherty there because he's, he was true to him with all of that. So he knows the club like the back of his hand. I think from a Drogheda point of view, quickly, I do think that's the best appointment for them, isn't it? Rather than going and getting in an outside manager or coach. No
doubt. Look, as a Pats fan, I'm disappointed that, he's not coming with him.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's credit to Drogheda for tying him down and keeping him where he is. I think Dara coming in there as well is going to be an amazing job with him, and I think, two people that know the league. And obviously Tim knows the league now. But Pats, and it'd be interesting to see who Tim brings in with him, and I'm excited to see it. I'm not downbeat over it. Look, he has his hands full. He has an awful lot of work to do in terms of getting players over the line and signing and stuff. And it's a horrible time for Tim to be coming in because he needs to convince these players. I've no doubt he will convince. Look, every year players are going to move. There's no doubt getting away from that. We're probably not going to get every target we wanted. We're probably not going to keep every player we want to keep. That's the reality of it. I think every club is in the same position. But at the same time, it's exciting. I know the players might feel a little bit aggrieved in terms of, what Stevie built and him kind of leaving and stuff like that. But
is that why it's important to get that they got this over the line fairly quickly as well, so that the players can meet with the manager and things like that?
Yeah, I've seen the club getting an awful lot of stick over all this ordeal and stuff. But like seriously, how can you give the club stick? They're after going and recruiting probably the best manager. I think probably Tim edges it over O'Donnell. Look, I know O'Donnell's after winning the cup and stuff like that. But for what Tim achieved with such a small club, and I'm not disrespecting Drogheda by saying that, but they're not a Pats, they're not a Rovers, they're not a Dundalk, they're not trying to be either. So I'm not saying I'm not saying, I'm not putting them down by that, but
they're getting the best out of the resources, Keane, I would
that's
suggest.
it. And the calibre of player that Tim had to the calibre of player that O'Donnell had. Look, O'Donnell done an amazing job.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he didn't. Look, some of the football this year, it's been a pleasure and a joy to watch. But I think Tim gets more out of, you're not so pretty players, let's say.
Well, I think, Keane, what Tim has done actually at Drogheda the last number of years, you look at some of the young players we're talking about, was Conor Kane, James Brown, Mark Doyle, and these players. It took them a while, obviously, to actually grow up, essentially, develop. And Tim has kind of brought these through and improved them as players. And, that's something that Pats have a good youth system. You've got your Dara Burns, Ben McCorr coming through, possibly the likes of Corberley, whoever it is. And that's something that Tim does do. He brings through young players. He's not afraid. Yeah. You see with Killian Phillips, it was his turn this year, if you know what I mean. He's not afraid to give these young players a go. And that does fit a little bit into the Pat ethos. And as you said, I think he's improved players. The likes of Darren Markey was going through the motions of Pats. Dan O'Reilly had problems at Shelburne. Brilliant at Drogheda this year. Chris Lyons had issues with injuries and change in the club and things like that. Got the best out of him. So he has brought young players through, developed them, improved them at Drogheda, and got the best out of players that maybe a lot of people would say were struggling, let's say, in their careers. That's got to be good man management as well, you'd like to think.
Honestly, I think Tim had to do a really hard job at Drogheda. Because look, I don't want to put them down. But this is commending Tim by saying this. Players don't want to end up playing for Drogheda United, and there's no getting away from that. If you want to play League of Ireland, you want to be playing the top. Drogheda United wouldn't be top of your list, and there's no getting away from that. And I think everyone would agree with me. Even probably Drogheda fans would probably agree to a certain degree with me. But Tim has to get these players like Darren Markey, for example, who is after being at Pats and being an amazing prospect all the way through, and the kind of didn't work for him. So now they have to re-motivate him, get him playing again and going. And then, so he has to do that job first, and then he has to get the young lads motivated and giving them opportunity. So he has both, and he's doing both. It's not like, for example, you come to a Rovers and you sign for Rovers from, let's say, Drogheda. And it's like now you're stepping up to the big time. It's not like that. At Drogheda, any big signings that are coming for Drogheda are dropping down from the top team. So it's very hard to re-motivate them players. And Tim has done it. And even the likes of Dane Massey, for example.
Yeah.
It'd be easy for the likes of Dane, even Darren Markey.
Go through the motions, let's say.
Yeah. I know he didn't play a lot, but the likes of Dinny Corcoran and stuff, I know he's left Drogheda now, but that
was mainly down to injuries, I would say. But anyway, it was mainly down to injuries.
You have to re-motivate them. You have to do that's like, if that's not a skill, I don't know what is. I'd be looking at Pats and I'm rubbing my hands together. Like I'm looking at Josh Keeley, now Adam Murphy, James Abankwah. Sam Curtis. You're looking at these players and it's a dream. Like I would absolutely love Lee Desmond if Paddy Barrett, for example, does go or something like that. James Abankwah and Lee Desmond at the back, and give them a chance. And I think Tim would give them a chance. But I'm really positive about the future of Pats. Like I says, I think Tim Clancy overall is a better player. Oh, sorry. Stevie definitely wins it in terms of playing. But, I think Tim is a much better manager and a man manager at that. Look, Stevie, I think people will definitely bit sour grapes and stuff like that to Stevie, but the way he left and stuff. I think when, probably in 6 months' time down the line, he will probably get a bit of stick on Richmond. There's no doubt about it. But I think Pats fans will have an utmost respect for him for what he's done, for how he's changed the club. Like I says, at this minute in the time, it hurts, and it's going to hurt every Pats fan. But when you actually strip it back and realise what he's after doing to the club and how good he's after being for us, I think you'll get a lot of respect.
Well, I think as well, Kane, like you watch a lot of football, as we know. So, you've seen Drogheda play a lot. You see how Clancy works. there's a lot of Pats fans a little bit in the dark at Clancy still, a little bit, because there'll be a lot of people, as you know, who'll watch, say, Pats play, but won't really, say, watch Drogheda and Dundalk or whatever it is on LOI TV or go to other games. We do, though. But one thing as well that strikes me at Clancy as well, he's not a one-system manager either. He's not a guy, right, I'm playing 4-3, that's the end of it. He seems to try and suit the cloth, but you might see something in the opposition as well. We've seen him play 3 at the back. We've seen him play with 2 number 10s behind a striker. We've seen him play 4-3-3. I've seen him play 4-2-2-1-1. There's so many different systems. So that's a good thing because now he's not going to play one system and then a completely different one the next game and a completely different one the next game. That's not the way it works. But I've seen him introduce all those systems, let's say, into the team. And I think that's a good thing because you have to be adaptable now as well, I think. And it's something that's always struck me with him and his teams that, you know, they play so many different systems and so, not even different formations, but different styles as well. Often he's played counter-attacking football at Drogheda. You could do that at Pats as well, but I can see him being a bit more adaptable that way at Pats as well.
Yeah, look, like I said, I'd be looking at the players that Pats have at their disposal. Yeah. Especially the young players who are tied up that we know are there next season, the likes of Dara Bones, you know, your Jamie Lennons and stuff like that. I think Jamie Lennon could really thrive under a manager like Tim as well, in terms of if we look at how the resurgence of Gary Deegan and, you know, Killian Phillips, for example, in that defensive type area. And, you know, I'm looking at Jamie Lennon, I'm thinking Jamie is probably a much better player than the two of them. And if he can get that much out of Phillips and that much out of Deegan, what can he get out of these players? What can he get out of your Giff Forresters if he stays, or maybe even your Robbie Benson if he doesn't follow Stevie? You know, stuff like that. What can he? How good can he be? And
even Ben McCormack coming through, Keane. There,
look, you know? You've Ben, you've Dara.
People are forgetting about him a little bit because of the success of Dara Burns. Yeah. People are kind of forgetting about Ben.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing it come. Like I said, we're probably going to have the youngest team in the division next year on the pitch at all times, like, you know what I mean? But I know Bowles have a fantastic thing for that, but, you know, for Bowles, all the youth that Bowles have, they've some really big experienced players in and around it. I think Pat's, in fairness to Stevie this year, he's got a tune out of all the young lads, you know, and, you know, that's something that a lot of managers don't do, and obviously Tim has done it. Tim has got a real blend of experience. He had to go and recruit the experience, and he had to go and, you know, really have a good go at this division, and he did. And, you know, before the mid-season break there, they had a great win. They beat Pats 3-1, backslide Pats off the park, and all of a sudden there was a European hunt on, you know, and it just shows you what you can do. And with these type of players, like I says, I really am so upbeat about this. I'm excited. I think it's a fantastic appointment for Pats. Look, Drogheda fans, I'd say Drogheda are probably fuming because Dundalk took Stevie off Pats. So, you know, Drogheda nearly got hit twice here, you know.
They can blame Dundalk again. Yeah,
but, you know, I have to say it's a big season for Drogheda now, though. Just going off the point a little bit. You know, I
was just going to throw that. I was just going to marry that, Keane, as well a little bit, because I was going to say, like, are there players at Drogheda that you think Tim could possibly want to take a Pats? Like, I know you watch Tim's teams play, and I've talked about all the different systems, etc., etc. No matter what system he plays, what's very important to the system? Fullbacks. That's something I think he'll look to change a little bit of Pats, because I think Pats maybe it's something they could do there.
It's about. It'll probably be unfair for me to name a couple, but I'm going to. I'd take James Brown. I'd take Conor Kane. I'd take Phillips. I would take Killian Phillips, no doubt about it. Looks right, the fans are probably at the smashing the screen at this stage. You know, I'd take Mark Doyle, of course. I would bring Dan O'Reilly in. I don't think he'd probably play as much. But
Goalkeeper?
Probably not.
Potentially?
No.
Yeah. No. Probably the way Pats play in general, you know, the distribution, he's a good goalkeeper, David. His distribution could probably improve an awful lot, I would say.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. No, look, David will probably end up coming to Pats and I'm probably starting off on the wrong foot with him. But, you know...
Sorry, David.
Yeah, no, honestly, I've no doubt Tim is going to recruit some good players, but I would love the likes of Killian Phillips. I'd love the likes of, James Brown, Conor Kane, Mark Doyle, and Dan O'Reilly. Like I said, we're going to be playing 50 games, I'd say, next year. In terms of the cup, we'd obviously want to retain the cup. We're obviously
and Kate, just to throw it out quickly as well, we've already lost 4 players as such from the squad, like Yaris Lewis, Lambert, and somebody else, top of my head, gone. Oh, there's someone else, definitely.
Griffin.
I think. Is it Griffin?
Well, that must be 5 then.
I think there's someone else. I'll edit this bit out. I think there's someone else. Yaris Lewis, Lambert, and Woko will go. I don't think he's gone, but he'll go.
Woko's gone,
yeah. So, yeah, Keane, I mean, Pat's will be missing like 4 players have already left the club. You've got Yaris Lewis and Woko and Lambert. So, even from that point of view, you need to replace players there before you even think about actually getting additions in,
Yeah, look, and I've no doubt that'd be Tim's first choice. There's not a lot of good keepers around the league at this minute in time. Many of the decent ones are probably tied up. So, in fairness, I listened to Al this morning talking, Alan Matthews, or just talking about, the likes of the recruitment side of it and how they done it. Liverpool were very impressed with the likes of Vít Yaros, how much he grew, how much Pat's actually worked with him, and how much
bit of a bond there, Keane. Maybe you could develop.
But Pat had meetings. They had recruitment meetings with Liverpool about V, and in terms of how he's going to play and what's going to happen, and they'd be checking in on him each month and stuff like that. So, it's great. It's great. It's very proud for myself as a Pats man to see that we're doing our job right. And if clubs like Liverpool are impressed, what does that tell you about the club? And it's really good. I do, being honest with you, I hope Al stays on a Pats, whether he's on the dugout or not. I just think his knowledge is unbelievable. And I do think he'll work very well with Tim in terms of his knowledge. And like you're saying, Kev and Tim working together and, bouncing stuff off each other. I think, Stevie and Alan was a great partnership. It's probably the last one you'd pick if someone asked me to pick Stevie, a fella to bounce off. Alan probably would be, because they're total opposites. There's no doubt about it. And you'd even see them walking into the pub during the night.
Sometimes the total opposite does actually work though, because you need someone to, if you've 2 people the same, you're just agreeing with each other nearly the whole time, and that's not good either.
No, so I have to say, I hope Al stays on the Pats. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, but I have to commend the club. They've acted so quickly here. Stevie said no, and within a couple of hours, Tim Clancy's name has been talked about. They've had a meeting. They've got it sorted. They've got him over the line, and here he is now at Pats. And if that's not acting quick, I don't know what is.
And by the way, it was acting quick. Some people might think this was done before the cup final. I can tell you now, it wasn't done. There was no discussion before the cup final. That's a fact.
The genuine belief, the genuine talk was Stevie was signing that new deal, and he was staying on where he is, whether we win or lose the cup final. So for Pats to act so quick here, it's brilliant. I'm delighted. I really am, and I'm actually so upbeat about this season. Probably, look, like I said, the next couple of weeks will probably really judge where Pats are going to be next season and where they're going to be at. And you obviously have the likes of Stevie going to Dundalk, and whether he takes a couple up there and stuff like that. But look, there's no doubt there's going to be a few players following Stevie up to Dundalk. But I'm not even going to say they're not going to. He is going to take players with him, and there's no. But at the same time, we're going to take players off Drogheda. I've absolutely no doubt in my mind. So, it works both ways. Would you be rather taking players off Pats or taking players off Drogheda? It depends.
Really. As we've discussed, there's players at Drogheda that would really suit what Pats need.
So I'm looking forward to it. I do hope the likes of Tim comes in now and gets acting straight away, which I've no doubt he will. He's not going to sit on it. He's going to be in there. He's going to be up his walls with meetings and players. It's a tough time for him to come in.
But also, quickly, it's an opportunity for Tim as well, though, because he is taking a club, you'd say, that are more likely to make some sort of a challenge at the higher echelons of the league table, let's say. they've obviously won the cup, etc. They did finish second, so it's a good opportunity for Tim, and an opportunity he felt he had to grasp. Pats, to be fair, Tim did go through the right channels as well. They contacted Drogheda first, by the way, before they contacted Tim or anything, and they paid the compensation. There's question marks whether Dundalk done the same as Stevie O'Donnell. So, you know, Pats did do things right in that way. So fair play to them in that sense, I have to say now.
Yeah, in fairness to Pats,
Drogheda were very happy with their application, let's say.
In fairness to Pats, and it's something that I'm very proud of. We always do things the right way. You know, we could have easily thrown money at Stevie, and you know, we could have easily went belly. We never go over the top. We never spend over our means. Pats know they're not going to be the biggest club in Ireland. They're not going to be the best club in Ireland. We know where we stand. You know, and when we do win something like what we've done the cup, it just makes that a little bit sweeter. And you know, you enjoy it a little bit more because you know we didn't absolutely lamp money into it. We know we didn't. It was all done through hard work and youth. And you know, it's great to see. And I really do. I'm excited for Tim. This is a new opportunity for him. I think I'm buzzing. You'll probably see it on my face.
You're making me more excited. You're making me more excited now as well, which is great.
Yeah, look, I can't wait. Look, Tim will love it. I know his daughter goes to the games and stuff like that with him when Drogheda and all. And now we'll get holding a Pat's top straight away. We'll get his family welcomed into Richmond like we always do. You know, I absolutely love it. I love how all the players, you know, with their families, and you know, I think Tim is going to be no different, and you know, they're going to be welcomed in with open arms, and I really can't wait to meet Tim in person again, and you know, just welcome him into the club, because that's what we are. We're a family here. Everyone looks after each other, and you know what? I think this club is probably in better hands, and I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't know how. I just really believe that Tim Clancy for me is probably the best appointment that we could have made as a club at this minute in time. You know, you're looking at Tim. I can't see, if you're thinking of the way Stevie went to Dundalk and stuff like that, I can't see Tim leaving Pats, let's say, just leaving Pats the way Stevie left in terms of going to Rovers or going to, you know, Bows. I can't see that happening. Look, we'll probably clip this out in 2 years' time now and I'll be made a laugh of. But, you know, I genuinely think, you know, these managers have big aspirations, and Tim isn't going to be wanting to stay at Pats for the rest of his career. Tim wants to be going across the water, and we get that. But if we can help him, I've no doubt we will. We have a fantastic side, a fantastic club going in the right direction.
But this way, Cian, if he ends up going across the water, it'll mean he's after doing a good job at St. Pat's. So
that's it, exactly. And you know, it's something that I'm really looking forward to. Look, I think
never dull. I have to say, just a never dull moment in the League of Ireland, though. It has to be said, never dull moment.
But you know what? This is positive. This is something that I think can be really the makings of Pats, and you know, we can make the best of the situation, and I've no doubt we will. But look, I wish Tim all the best. I wish Stevie all the best. But I genuinely think Pat's got a great deal here.
Yeah, look, it'll be interesting to see what people think in the comments. Actually, I'm sure Drogheda fans are good, but let us know what you think about the appointment of Kevin Doherty. Is that the right call for you as well? Obviously, Pats fans, let us know. Did we inform you on, I suppose, some of Tim's attributes and his style and that kind of thing? You were kind of in the dark. I know a lot of people are in the dark, so that's a good thing as well, Cian. Subscribe to the channel, hit your bell notification button, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much, Cian.
Thank you.